Gray Zone Warfare's Point 4 update is dropping in 3 days for supporters on March the 27th. I wanted to go over a few bits that are from the last release that the devs went over. Jakob, particularly, going over everything. And I don't know if you guys have watched any of the devlogs, but his presentation and his humor it's amazing. I absolutely love it. So they wanted to talk about the fact that they've added a new onboarding. So now it's not just jumping in and relying on all the other players to help you along. That was one of the biggest issues that we faced, is that someone would hop in and be like, I don't know how to do this, Dad. And it'd be like, come here, son. But father, no, you don't have to do that anymore. So now you get to go on onboarding. It shows you around all the weapon mechanics, how to eat, how to drink, how to heal yourself, how to do everything. Because I remember the first, 12 hours that we were in the game. I don't know why I said 12, because it's probably like the first 300 hours that you still have issues maybe bandaging yourself or knowing when to surgery or things like that. So I know I've used so many splints that didn't need to be used, but they've also added a field manual. So now, well, I guess maybe it's a field manual. Field manual, 110 pages. Sorry for the dad joke. And it's covering nearly every feature in the game. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, the next thing, the progression, reputation, and task system. This is literally straight from their website. So if you guys want to read along, if you guys want to go read this yourself, feel free to. So the task system and the vendor leveling has been redesigned to deliver a replayable progression loop. It gives the players more agency and freedom. Autonomy is literally the one thing that every single player has asked for in this game. And that's why you're able to go to a cop now and not have to fly in the helicopter. Because the fact that we had to go and we had to take a helicopter, and we all know the noise of negative, all birds are occupied, or whatever, for the first 6 months that we played the game. Oh my God. The fact that we can now just go from town to town and just walk and everything like that. And the coolest part is that they're eliminating... you don't even have to go to base if you don't want to. You can turn in all of your tasks from cops. Now, there are still some that you have to go back, so take that last statement with a grain of salt. But just know that you will be able to essentially play this like a sandbox, because it feels like that's where they're headed. Main tasks. They're going to be unveiling your main story as a PMC. The side tasks are going to be expanding on lore. So they've officially separated those two things. And they've gone into way more detail. You can literally go in and it has pictures and there's full stories, and there's I think that there was something that they said it was over 1,000 or something like that new documents that they added to this update, which I'm a absolute lore hunter. I love it. So I'm really, really excited. They've added 100 new tasks, 50 new contracts, and they've updated, 100 new tasks and contracts, and they've updated 50 of the previous tasks. So now the number of tasks exceeds 250. Let's go. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped for this update. This is the biggest update Gray Zone has seen. All right. As far as distribution, tasks have been redistributed throughout Lemang to encourage broader exploration, sandbox, beyond major points of interest. This also means less waiting for AI NPCs to respawn in heavily frequented locations. The one thing that we saw them do very, very quickly was when, just a starter town, when you had to kill the boss in the middle of the grocery. That was such an issue, because you'd literally walk in and you'd be like, did you kill the boss? They're like, yep, sorry, bud. It's like, all right. And then you go mess about, and then you go get shot at the gas station or, whatever. But so now there's a lot of tasks that actually take place that are outside of the urban areas, and it's creating new opportunities for that jungle warfare, baby. Put on the war paint. Let's go. All right. We're going to have a lot of fun on this update. The map is now divided into regions, and the regions are open to exploration, but tasks within each one are unlocked through your progress. Okay, so the way that it's actually going to show up on the map is you'll be able to see X amount of tasks within a certain area, and it'll just be a little bubble, and you'll be able to click on that bubble, and it'll pop up the tasks that are in that area, rather than the way that they had it before, which it was actually a really good system. The way that it was actually like a vertical, like you could see which area each one of those tasks was in. I didn't mind that, but I like that they're making it more of a visual thing, because a lot of us are visual learners, and we like to see it that way. Is you earn reputation with the vendors by completing tasks and trading items. You level up and unlock new regions, more dangerous and more rewarding tasks, and access to better weapons. Now, speaking of weapons, if you didn't see the last update or the devlog that they did, they've added 380 new weapon parts as well as 150 plus new gear pieces. And that's everything from helmets to NVGs and tack rigs and stuff like that. But so that's huge. Now we have even more. It's even more expansive than it was before. A set number of tasks will always be accessible across the map, ensuring there's always something to complete no matter where you are. So I feel like the helicopter system is actually going to be utilized more for going task to task, as it has been in the last few months, than it will be going from where you are to base. Now that you don't have to fly all the way back to log out, I'm really hoping that at some point you are able to be in a server like DayZ. I know I compared every game to DayZ, but that you'll be able to log out at a certain point in the map and then log back in, be on that same server with the same gear, with the same place, everything at the exact same time. And I'm really hoping that when we see, eventually, it's just speculation at this point, but when we see individual servers on Gray Zone Warfare to where you can customize, you can do all the things, that's something that we see. Okay. Now, completing a task for the first time grants more reputation. Huge. Task rewards have been balanced to have a greater emphasis on money rather than items. So now you can choose how to spend your money. It's my money. I want it now. And I want to buy a Mosin. I don't know. That's what you can do. Death results in task failure, but in some cases, it makes the task temporarily unavailable. So I believe that it'll state that death causes this to be unavailable for a certain amount of time. So you have to be careful which ones you accept. So it's going to be a little bit of a strategy you're going with there. Upon failing a task, you lose reputation equal to 10% of the amount you would have gained on success. So they're putting a lot of risk reward here. Tasks are no longer attached to a specific time of day. There are no more. It has to be between 10 and 6 or whatever it was. It was like 10 and 6 a.m. You had to complete this at Midnight Sapphire or at the airfield or anything like that, which is sick. The map has been redesigned to improve clarity and navigation. This update, the map is tenfold better than what it's been in the past. It's more detailed. They have put so much into this for the map design and the detail and everything like that. Vendors and economy. The vendor stock has been completely reworked. Gives you more options when making purchases, create a healthier balance in weapons, and reduce reliance on the M4 meta. Golf clap, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we need. That's what everybody wanted. Everybody was tired of rocking the M4. I mean, I like the M4, but it would be really cool if I could pull out something else and it'd be just as viable. Because I'll be honest, listening to the silenced AK, suppressed AK, fire in the middle of the jungle is just like, I love it. All right. Access to vendors is tied to different player rank milestones. That's kind of been the economy so far. But each vendor's stock is now more specialized. For example, Handshake focuses primarily on Western gear, and Artisan sells specifically civilian equipment, rather than it being kind of like just they sell different stuff from East or West, right? How it has been. But all items sold by vendors now have unlimited stock. There's no more of the cap of, hey, you can only buy X amount of these, the razor scope or the suppressor or anything like that, which is awesome. As far as the lure goes, they have expanded the lure significantly. And again, like I said, I am a huge lure fan. And so I am so excited for this. You will be able to delve into Lemang's history, uncover some of the darkest secrets, and move one step closer to unraveling the mystery of the event. Everybody wants to know what's going on in the middle of the circle. And right now, there isn't anything. There's nothing in the middle of the circle. You can go there. I know you used to be able to go there in PvE in the Dead Center, and there was nothing. It was just more mountain. And then PvP, it would actually kill you. But they have added. Here we go. Okay, so I apologize. I skipped. Okay, they've added 351 new intel items, and 68 which are lootable. And it consists of magazines, letters, posters, things like that. So now you can take those things, you can bring it back, and you can almost kind of build your own little frickin' Charlie from It's Always Sunny type board and figure out what's going on. That is something that I hope to be the first to figure out, is what the heck is going on Lemang. Because there's so much that has happened in the past 2 years as we come up on the almost 2-year anniversary of Gray Zone Warfare being out. This is a big one. This is truly where their AI improvements are going to be huge. They've improved the placements. The bosses now spawn together with their guards, so it's going to be more Tarkov-y, if you will. And the AI NPC groups now patrol designated areas. Some of the AI NPCs, though, they do have new roles, such as bodyguards or sergeants, and each is distinguished by an appearance and gear. And one of the things that we saw in the previous update is that there are now factions that these enemies are going to be a part of. So that's going to be interesting to see how they actually like band together and how they fight, and with the AI actually being reworked and in a fashion that is much more than them taking cover or still being able to take 25 shots with an MP5 to the face. I think we're going to see a lot better interaction with the AI, and it's going to feel a lot more manageable when you're working with a team. Now, as far as player statistics go, the game now includes the player statistics you can progress over time, and you can track those over time. So no more like once you switch from Crimson to Lemang or Mithras, you're gone. Like all of your stats are gone. Now you'll be able to do that. One of the biggest things is that the tech improvements. Okay, now this is straight from their website news blog, right? Tech improvements. We continue to put significant effort into optimization. Although the world will be far richer and more detailed thanks to the team's hard work, the performance should remain in line with the major improvements delivered with patch 3.5.0. Okay, so you're still going to see the lower class GPUs. I don't want to say lower class. The lower end GPUs showing improvement on performance. And the higher end are obviously going to remain the same. And then if, you get into the 50 series, and obviously it's going to be the best is what it can be. Now, they have reduced the RAM usage, expected to have reduced the RAM usage by 3 gigs. That's huge, especially on 16 gig systems. Now, if you have like 32 and 48, or you've got like 256 like Shade, I don't think he actually has that many, but you're not going to have any issues. But lastly, the server performance is in its best state since 0.1, right? They're going to continue improving everything little by little. Fewer hitches, better hit registration, and less rubber banding. That's been one of our things. I'm excited for this 0.4 update, and because I'm a supporter, I will be playing this in 3 days. 3 days is Friday. So you can bet your bottom dollar that I will be there on Friday, hopefully playing with some of my regiment family on Friday and through the weekend. Let me know what you guys think down below. Are you excited for this update? Are you excited for everything that is going to come with the lure? What do you guys think? And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Be kind, stay friendly. Paradise loves you. Out.